Hi designers, Happy New Year! This video is a tutorial on how I made a layer ruffle skirt, which I nicknamed the BBL skirt. It's the first tutorial I'm making in the year 2026. If you are new here, welcome, and my name is Victoria Mensah. Make sure to subscribe for more amazing content, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Let's dive right into it. Tools and materials needed: 2 yards of printed fabric, 1 yard of lining, elastic band, matching thread, vanishing chalk, tape measure, scissors, and heater rule. Let me make a quick sketch of the skirt to make the explanation a bit easier. I'll be needing a band and 3 layers, and the length of the skirt is 20 inches. So the band measurement I would like to use is 2 inches. So we would have to subtract the 2 inches from the 20 inches, making the remaining length 18, right? So we have to divide the 18 into 3 equal parts, which will give us 6 inches each. That's of the ruffles, the height, plus overlapping and stitching allowance. So we'll be adding 3 inches to the 6 inches, making about 9 inches. I went ahead to cut the lining. We are making 3 layers, right? So we would have to subtract the 3rd layer from the length of the skirt. So 20 minus 6 inches will give us what? 14 inches. And remember, there is a band, so we would have to subtract the band as well. That was how come I placed the tape measure in this way. Check how I placed it from the 2 inches downwards. So then I marked the 14 inches. Cross-checked without the band's measurement, making it what? 12 inches. Remember, the band we are using is what? 2 inches. I proceeded to rule a straight line and I cut. For the circumference of the lining, I used my hip measurement, that's 39 inches, plus 15 inches. That would be like 54 inches. So that was what I used for the circumference. You can add 16 or 18. The next step is to locate the midpoint and mark it all throughout. After that, rule a straight line. It should be very visible. It should be very visible on the lining, because you'll be needing it as a guide for layering of your ruffles. The next step is to take your main fabric and mark and cut. So here I ruled out the selvage because I don't like it. I'll cut it out. And remember, our ruffle from the beginning was what? 6 plus 3 inches, making it 9 inches. So at this point, I was just marking the 9 inches. I ruled a straight line and I proceeded to cut them out. Remember, I used all the 2 yards of the printed fabric. I had 5 pieces in total, so the next step is to head over to the sewing machine to stitch them together. Yeah, all the 5 pieces, so I'll get a long piece. This was me stitching them. After stitching, divide them into 3 equal parts, because we will be arranging them into 3 parts, right? Then proceed to turn a lay and hem and stitch one side. As for the other side, knitting or serge it. But with the lining, you have to knitting all round. This video is being sponsored by Stitch Mart Ghana, dealers in sewing accessories and sewing machines. I'll leave their details in the description box below for you to contact them for yours. I went ahead to run gathering stitches at the knitting part. Now, indicate the top and the down of the lining so that you don't get confused. Starting from the down, we will be fixing the first layer. Watch how I'll place the fabric. First of all, where I've written the top and down, it is the right side of the lining. Take note. So now you would place the right side of the ruffles on the right side of the lining. Pin at the down part and stitch half an inch. Yeah, before you stitch, leave half an inch or 3/4 of an inch from the tip before you start stitching. Watch carefully. And when you are ending to leave the same thing. You'll be using this procedure for all the 3 layers, so kindly take note of it. In one of the subsequent steps, I'll teach you what to do with the measurements I left. See the first layer's outcome. Yeah, let's move on to the second layer. So you put it against the line, then you stitch it here like we did for the first layer. So at this point, I was done stitching. I could see the skirt is taking shape. Yay, clack it. I was left with the third layer, the third but not the least layer. You would have to place it this way and stitch on top of it. Do not fix it like the first and second layer, no. After making the top stitch, have you seen the space I left along the edge of the lining? Yes, I went ahead to put it together, head over to the machine and stitched half an inch down. I did the same thing for the printed fabrics. So you take both of them together this way and stitch them. That means you are closing that part here. At this point, the skirt was taking shape. Oh, if you haven't subscribed, do well to do so. Leave your comment and like. I now measured the circumference of the skirt, the waist circumference. It gave me 26, so times 2 will be what? 52. That was what I used to cut the band. So instead of 52, you are supposed to add 1 inch stitching allowance. So in all, I had 53. The width of the band is 2.5 on fold because the band measurement I want to use is 2 inches and half an inch for stitching allowance. The next step is to mark half an inch on both sides and stitch. I went ahead to attach the band to the waist of the skirt by stitching half an inch, but while stitching from the beginning, leave half an inch because we'll be inserting the elastic through that part. I reduced my waist measurement by 2 inches. So instead of 27, I used 25 to cut the elastic. The next step was to pass the elastic through the casing that we've created with the help of a safety pin. Right after passing it through, I have to join the band and also secure the elastic so that it doesn't come off. So that was what I was doing here. After that, I turned it over and joined the remaining part to the skirt. Yeah. After that, the next thing I did was to prepare the rope that I would tie. Yeah, I was done preparing it. The next thing is to stitch half an inch from this point to this point and also from here to here so that it will create a casing for the rope to pass through. So watch carefully. You have to pull the band and stitch. If you don't pull and stitch, it wouldn't work. Now look for the midpoint of your skirt and mark 1 inch to the right, 1 inch to the left. Get your scissors and cut a small hole on the marked parts. Then you take your rope with the help of the safety pin again, pass it through, and you're almost done. This particular part showed me shaggy small. It got stuck at the point where there was a joining. Anyways, let me know in the comment section where you're watching this video from, and if this video was helpful, Share the BBL Skirting Lab by commenting, liking, and subscribing. See you in my next video. Bye.